guys was portal lights. And they are really nice for dramatically speeding up your render times. So I would like to actually go over them when they're actually functional. So I just opened the environmentalfog.ma if anyone's following along. And basically the setup that I have here is just a very awkward little like prison cage cube setup. This is the only hole in the scene, is just like these little strips in the wall here. Then I have some cylinders, and right now it's just an HDRI floating around on the outside of my scene. That's the only lighting that I have. So I'm just gonna get off a quick render of this. What now? Hang on a minute. Oh, I'm looking at the alpha. Alright, so why is this rendering so fast? I need to fix this. Alright. I'm actually just gonna set this to be full HD, since it's apparently rendering like insanely fast right now. But basically the benefits of portal lights are A, having a little bit more control where the light from your HDRI is coming from, but usually it will actually, using portal lights is going to both eliminate noise from your scene and also potentially cut down your render time. So like better quality for less time, why would you not use these? So here's the render of just the HDRI lighting this little box. You can see it's like super grainy and kind of horrendous looking. Alright. And usually the reason that, so if I've ever, commented like, oh, there's like a lot of noise in like the whole scene from your HDRI, you could probably fix some of it at least with portal lights. But basically the reason that this happens is that the HDRI, usually shadows tend to be samplier. And right now it's calculating from pretty much every conceivable angle light being thrown at this object. So this wall has like way more shadows on it than it actually needs, which is usually why it ends up being pretty sampley. So right now this is a 15-second render. I am going to unhide my portal lights, therefore activating them, and re-render that image. And you can see that it's rendering, like the render itself looks a lot nicer compared to that horror. And, wait for the final time, 15 seconds versus, so this one was 3 seconds shorter and it looks nicer. You should totally use portal lights. It's still a little bit grainy, but like that could be fixed. So basically, to actually set up a portal light, so you can see if I look at my scene, I basically just have 3 extremely scaled portal lights, and I've just thrown one in each little window. And to find them, just go to Arnold, Lights, Light Portal. Pretty much as soon as you put one of these in the scene, it's going to render light only from that specific light. Or like, it'll render your HDRI only through the light portal that you have inserted. So an example, I'm just gonna like hide these guys really quick. So I only have this one little light portal here. I'm actually just kind of curious to see what this does. But you can see that's rendering pretty much light only from this one area, which is a little weird. I'm not sure why exactly you'd want that, but you can do it if you do want that. Other good thing about portal lights is that they can potentially, if you happen to have like little gaps in your wall or like in your ceiling or your floor, using portal lights is going to ensure that no light from your HDRI like shines through and is like, look at this floor gap. But they're really helpful and fairly simple to set up. If you need to modify any of the settings of your portal lights, so you'll notice that they don't really have much by way of, samples for that particular light or anything like that. To edit any of the intensity for your light or the samples for your light, you do that in the base dome light itself. So modify the intensity of the dome light, it'll modify the intensity for all of your portal lights. Same thing for sampling of the HDRIs. So that's basically portal lights. Any questions on that or why you might want to use them? All right. I do find them, they're like kind of my new favorite thing. And now that my scene isn't broken, I'm like, y'all should use portal lights for rendering in Maya because they're great.